Hey y'all, and welcome back to Tab Space. So I am back from a much needed vacation. I think it's super important for your mental health to always have something to look forward to, always have a vacation on the books. Um I went to an amazing concert. It was very spiritual, and now we're back with another video. So, I don't know about y'all, but August always kind of sucks for me. It's like the beginning of August, I realized it's about time for me to stop being outside, start stacking up my money, hibernating, I guess you could say, and just getting myself together to maximize the winter. Like, make the most money, be able to spend for Christmas, do all of that. So, I guess I'll ask y'all, do you struggle with the month of August? Is August like a dang type of thing for you? If the answer is yes, I actually found an article that discusses why August is a little one of the rougher summer months, especially with it being the last summer month. So, for me, I look forward to the fall, but in all honesty, this time of year gives me seasonal depression. Um, and based on an article I found, I'm not alone on this. So why? So yeah, why do we get the summertime blues around August? Why does it start to feel like, dang, summer's over? So Carly Harris, LMFT, a therapist and a young adult family program director at Newport Healthcare, says that the month has Sunday scary energy. What are Sunday scaries, I guess you could say? You know when you get that dreadful feeling like I have to go to work tomorrow? And you get a little like sad once Sunday hits, or at the end of Sunday, you're like, I have to go back to work tomorrow. This is the last day of my weekend. The whole month of August kind of feels like that. It's like I have to return back to normal life. I have to go back to not being out late during the weekends and, not going to the park or the beach right after work or whatever you do to make your summer the most fun that it could possibly be. So she goes on to say August can be seen as the Sunday night of the year where people feel the looming pressure of returning to routine work or school. Just as many experience a sense of dread or anxiety on Sunday evenings, August can cause similar feelings on a larger scale, as it signals the end of a period of relaxation and freedom. Yeah, the summertime, we be outside, we be ready to have a good time. Like I was saying, summer nights, you can't beat that. You can't beat where you can sit outside till 3 o'clock in the morning and it's still 75, 80 degrees. And you know what I mean? Like, a time was had this summer, for sure. But now it's about that time to understand that the summer's pretty almost over and it's time to get back into it. Get the grind going. I won't lie. For me, this year anyway, I'm excited for grind time. I'm excited to maximize because I have so many things where it's like, let me get back focused. Let me get back right. So, what about those of us that work year round? Like, why would it matter if I work year round, what is it? I don't get a summer vacation. I'm not in school anymore. So why would I care? You still feel that, oh, it's summertime. I'm ready to go crazy. The article goes on to say that even if you've been out of school for ages, this time of year can still trigger an emotional response, almost as if you're going back to class. And some of us do go back to class. Some of us are out of school because we're in college, and now, especially right now, y'all are back in school, y'all are studying, doing the damn thing. I'm gonna be there soon. I'm gonna get me enrolled into some classes, but that said, yeah, some of y'all actually do have to go back to class. Some of you remember a time, like I know I remember a time where I had to go back to class soon. and how that felt when I was a teenager and a kid. Like, dang, this is the end of my summer break. August can also prompt a reflection on past summers, especially childhood memories, of freedom and play without worrying about work. Adults might feel nostalgic, wishing for simplicity and joy again. I can't tell you how many times that I honestly daydream about being in school again. Daydream about that time where I thought that this was going to be the hardest part of my life. And, ugh, I'm in school. This sucks. Psh, let me tell you, being a kid is underrated until you're an adult. Once you're an adult, you realize just how much fun you were allowed to have as a kid, just how many responsibilities that you lacked. So yeah, I catch myself daydreaming about being in school and summer break and everything else. Even when I went to summer school, I miss that. I still think about that sometimes. And I be like, dang, I would rather be learning and expanding my mind than be at work right now. Don't get me wrong, I expand my mind at work, but it's just different. It's a different responsibility level. It's a different level of pressure. Because it's like, if I get kicked out of class, you know what I mean? I can go to another school. I can go to another class. I might get a detention or suspended or expelled, but I can come back. With a job, it's like, if I lose this is my livelihood. I need this to survive. The stakes are a lot higher when you're an adult. Seeing vacations or social activities can lead to feelings that you might not have made the most of your summer, amplifying the sadness. So a lot of people make like summer dumps, or just throughout the summer just kind of post with their people. And when you didn't live your summer up as much as you would have liked to, that can be a little like hard to watch, because it's like, I didn't do as much as I would have liked to this time around. But you do know that you can still, you have next year to come back. But you have to wait a whole year in order to live up your summer the way that you saw everybody else doing it. So that also is a difficulty about the month of August. The August dumps, as fun as they are for us to make when we had a great summer, when you're on the flip side of it, where, I've had summers where all I've done is work and argue with somebody I don't need to be arguing with. Like, I've had summers that sucked. I've had summers that are great. Either one you have, I think part of life is experiencing both, but it's rough trying to watch other people live it up when you're not able to. So what else about August starts to like make you a little sad? The sun goes down. The sun starts to go down earlier and earlier after, I think, the summer solstice or something like that. But it doesn't hit where at 9 o'clock it's dark until you get into like August and September. And that sucks too, because when you're used to being able to be up till 10 ish and the sun's still out and it's still warm, and now you go outside and it's 62 degrees and the sun's going down, it sucks. And vitamin D comes from the sun, so the less sun you get, the less vitamin D you get. And vitamin D is a happy chemical. It releases a lot of endorphins. So without it, it's easier to get depressed, which is why it's so important to consume vitamin D when the winter months start to come. Once the sun's not out as much, start taking vitamin D, especially if you're African American, because we lack vitamin D a lot more than a lot of other races, just because of the fact that, like, if you're from Africa or your ancestry from Africa, the sun's out all the time there. It's not out all the time if you live in North America. So you gotta find ways to substitute that when you're not getting it. But even when you're taking the vitamins, it's not the same as going outside and being able to soak up the sun. You can't beat that. Like, there's nothing that beats that, in my personal opinion, anyway. So yeah, there's also a change in the light that you might not be fully aware of, but it's there, and and this can truly mess with your head. Seasonal depression is heavily influenced by lack of sunlight. So again, that vitamin D and, like I said, the sunlight in general, you can't substitute that. Even if you sit in a sauna every day, it's not, or not a sauna, I apologize. If you sit in a tanning bed every day, it's not going to give you the same effect. It'll give you an effect. It's just not going to be the same. In August, the days start getting noticeably shorter, which can affect your circadian rhythms or the body's internal clock. So, I haven't gotten to get into it too much. I do want to make a video about sleep and circadian rhythms and how important sleep is and how important it is to be on a sleep schedule. But part of why it's so important is because of what's called circadian rhythms. And without me getting into like a deep explanation of it, your circadian rhythms are basically you getting your 8 hours and you going to sleep at the same time every day. When you do that, when you go to bed at the same time and you get the same amount of sleep, and it's usually between 6 and 8 hours, your body can perform at its optimum. But when you do not, I apologize, let me stop this from happening. When you do not stick to a circadian rhythm, that's where a lot of people start to experience a lot of fatigue throughout the day. A lot of people start to get irritable. People that are not morning people, a lot of the time it's more they're not getting enough sleep and they're not on a sleep cycle, or I'm sorry, a sleep schedule. So you may not realize it, but sleep affects your brain in ways that cannot even be described. The less sleep you get, the more likely for you to be unhealthy. Sleep, your sleep health, your sleep hygiene, all of those things, when taken care of correctly, you can live longer, you'll feel better, you'll have more energy, everything just flows better. But when you're not on a sleep schedule, when you go to sleep late, when you might go to sleep at 9 one night and then you go to sleep at 1 a.m. the next, all those things mess with your circadian rhythms, and they affect your brain in ways that I can't even begin to describe without basically creating a whole other video on it. So that said, that's the importance of sleep. And that's why when August starts and the days get shorter and everything else starts to happen, I get super tired. My circadian rhythms are all the way messed up. I mean, I remember going to work like a week or two ago, and I was so exhausted. Like, I've not been that exhausted in so long. And it dragged on all freaking day. Like, and it was gloomy. So the seasonal depression was definitely hitting. Like, yeah. August can mess you up a little bit. And what's the final blow? August brings a stark reminder that you're about to return to your usual routine. Goodbye summer Fridays, and that's quickly followed by the fast landslide into holiday season. In August, most of the year is already behind us, and it can be a tough pill to swallow. Yeah, once August comes around, I mean, we got September, October, November, December. We got 4 more months. We're in the last quarter of the year. And, y'all, the older you get, the faster time goes. And honestly, the older you get, I start to understand why people don't celebrate their birthday, why they don't care to get older, because it's like, ugh. Here we are again, back into a new year. And I love the new year, but it's like, dang, where did the year go? You look back and you realize just how fast this year caught up to you. It's insane. So, I'm not going to pose a question to y'all without trying to give you at least some sort of a solution. I'm not. That's just not what the point of this channel is for. So, how do we cope, or how do we combat the sadness that comes along with August and the rest of the year? Because the colder it gets, the darker it gets, the less sun we get, the more these issues are going to continue to accelerate if they're not taken care of sooner rather than later. I'm more of a prepared person. I would rather start to prepare to be to have less energy or to possibly be a little sadder earlier than later. Because then I can already have a game plan of like, okay, if I start to get sad or if I start to feel like this, then I'm going to do this, this, or this. So, first off, recognize that it's okay to be sad or nostalgic during this time. You have to give yourself grace every time that you experience some sort of emotional trigger or emotional downfall, pitfall, whatever you want to call it. So understand it's okay to feel this way. And also, it helps me to know that I'm not alone. You're not alone at all. A lot of people feel this way if you're starting to feel this way right now. Acknowledge that acknowledge that and remind yourself that this might not be your season. I think everyone's got a favorite season. If this isn't your favorite season, that's okay. Find ways to make it a little better. I'm not saying it's going to be your favorite season by the end of the year, but you can find ways to make it better. Remind yourself of what you do have to look forward to, and remember that the summer isn't completely over yet. We still got a little bit before we hit that day where it's the first day of autumn. So enjoy that during August. Also, look forward to the little things that you can do during August or during the fall that make it fun. I enjoy the fall because I like haunted houses. I like pumpkin patches. I like bonfires. I like wearing costumes. I like all that stuff. So even though August does suck a little bit, I do look forward to the fall. Spooky season is arriving, and I hope that y'all are ready for it. Book a trip or give yourself something to look forward to. I know a lot of people take vacations towards the end of the year, where they go on trips with their family once it gets colder, or when the winter comes around and the holidays come. November you got Thanksgiving, December you got Christmas. So book a trip, plan a vacation, plan to have the family come out, do something that's going to bring your spirits up. And if the family stresses you out, maybe that's not what you want to do. I'm going to just say that right now. Get outside as much as possible before you can't. Go on a walk, go to the park, sit by the water, have a picnic, read a book outside, do something outside and soak up the sun before it's not out as much. Because one thing about it, two things for sure, I've had plenty of years where I regretted the fact that I did not capitalize on my last summer months. I just took them and I slept a lot and I just didn't do as much as I would like to. Not this year. I'm going to be going to the beach. I'm going to be around the people. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure that I do what I got to do to enjoy the last part of this summer. So, it's Virgo season. That means this is a time to boss up. So, if you don't got anything else to look forward to bossing up. Save your coins. Start that money journal. If you have the bandwidth and the ability to do a little side hustle, do what makes you happy. Go to the gym. Don't allow the fact that one good thing might be ending to distract you or stop you from all the good things that these next few months do have to come. So whatever it is you got to do to stay afloat, just remember that good and hard times alike do not last forever. So even if this is a tough time for you, if this is never been your time of year, that's okay. This won't last forever. Tell me about some of your favorite parts of fall. I told y'all about the pumpkin patches. I told y'all about the haunted houses. I told y'all about all the things that I like to do during the fall months. So I want y'all to tell me in the comments, what is your favorite part about the fall? What's one activity at least? Give me 1 to 3 activities at least that you look forward to doing this fall. Thank you for listening to me and coming back to Tab Space. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.